live tonight because I normally would do a video, my little late night chronicle talks, but I really want to get on live and do it. The reason why is because I just felt like I needed to share this story and just kind of come on live and share what was in my spirit. God ain't sleep. God is not sleep. Karma is real. Let me tell you, everything that I had ever done to a person. You ever, okay, before I get into the story, you ever hear some spiritual people say, man, you just can't get away with the things that you do to people. And it seems like you can't get it. It seems like you get it a bit worse when you're a spiritual person or when you in tune and you connected. It seems like you just get it a bit worse. That's not a lie. Like it seems like the divine, the most high God, the universe, so whatever you want to call it, however you identify it as. It seems like when you are a spiritual person and you are connected and you are a healer, the moment you do something wrong with somebody, it's like, wow, what I do? What you do that for? And it's always like you know better. You know better. It's always because you know better. And you like, but they did X, Y, and Z. That doesn't matter. They don't know no better. But why you waiting? They gonna get theirs. Don't worry about it. And it's just like, dang, it's all you want to feel like it's unfair. You want to say it's not fair. You ever had an older kid, if you're an older kid, and you watch your baby sisters or your baby brothers get away with the stuff that you got beatings for? And you're like, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Well, you the oldest. You the oldest because you know better. You know better. You know better. And you don't want to know better. You don't want to know better. You don't want to have the responsibility. You want to be carefree, irresponsible. You want to be just like these people. That's what you want to do. But even when you do it, you have to make the choice to be irresponsible. You have to make the choice to do the things that they do. Dumb people, they just do it because they don't know no better. But you know better. So you choose to be irresponsible. You choose to do these things. You choose a choice because you feel like you want that, because it seems so easy to you. It seems like, blah, blah, blah. But it's really not. And so that's what mainly this live is going to be about. And this story is going to be about because I really truly feel like people kind of need to hear that and understand and bring some type of peace and solace to them. Because I do believe that some people are going through some storms out there. Some people going through some things, some redemption periods, and it's like, and some people are wondering if the people that hurt them are going to get their payback, right? So I'm here to tell you it's true. And yes, because I was in a relationship, and prior to me getting into that relationship, I told myself I was not going to do what I saw grow up. I'm not going to be bringing abuse into my home. I'm not going to be physically abusive. I'm not going to be verbally abusive. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to cheat. Needless to say, without going into too much detail, I was pushed and I cheated. And the abuse still came into the home because not because I caused it or I done something, but I was pushed and I had to defend myself. I'm not going to just sit there and let you do some stuff to me. No, I'm not going to just sit there and just let you, bully me and punk me like that. No, I'm not. No. Yes, I'm a nice guy. Yes, I practice nonviolence. But if you push me, you put your hand in my face, and you do stuff to me, yeah, of course, yeah, mhm, mhm, yeah, come on, and we gonna talk, and we gonna play video games, and we gonna cook, and we gonna eat something right afterwards. But in the midst of this, yeah, come on, It's just kind of like, come on. I'm not going to sit there. I'm not. No, that's not happening. Nah, what you think? What they do? What you think? What you think? Come on now. Come on now. You think? Come on now. No, 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 no. I grew up with abuse. Mom. You think I'm gonna? Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come, bro. Come on. Come on. Nah, nah. And nah. Ain't happening. So I thought that I allowed my arrogance and my ego to tell me that I was justified in what I had did. But that small still voice was like, vengeance is mine, vengeance is mine, vengeance is not yours. And I told myself, well, you know what? I want retribution and redemption and all this good stuff. And deep down inside, I knew that I had broken a promise to myself. Deep down inside, I knew that I had failed in this relationship. I knew. But it was easy to operate out of my ego and operate out of pride because that kept me from being responsible and being accountable for my actions. And at that time I would pride myself on not allowing somebody to dictate me and make me change who I am or who I was. But it wasn't until I also had to go through some things. And that's what God had always worked on me on because I used to be very, very, very judgmental person. I used to be really in shape and I was quite egotistical. And I would be very judgmental because I was always disciplined. So I didn't understand, you know, people. I didn't understand people going through things. I didn't understand that, and making mistakes. And it was just kind of like I didn't understand that at that time. And of course, I was 17, 18, 19, 17, 18 years old. So, but when I tell you that all the things I used to judge people about, all the things I used to say, all the things I used to do, and talk about people, not talk about them, but just kind of judge them over and say that I wouldn't do and I'm not doing. When I tell you it's not one thing that I said or I judged somebody on that I ain't done, that I ain't became, or that I haven't become. Every single thing that I said, I became, I did everything, every single one of them. All those judgments that I cast on people, I had to live every single one of them. I had to eat them. Even in that failed relationship, all the cheating that I did, all the lying, all the stuff that I was doing maliciously, intentionally doing stuff, breaking people, all the mental games, all the stuff that had been done to me in the relationship that I was now doing because I thought I was getting my get back, right? I thought I was getting it back, now. Not only did I get it from this person, I also now had to get into another relationship years later and receive all that I dished out back times 10. So I got double for my one. I got double for one. So when they say you're going to come back to you twofold times 10, yeah, God says that vengeance is his, vengeance is his. When you take vengeance into your own hands, you're responsible for it. You're responsible for it. You have to be responsible and held accountable for the things that you do and the actions that you do. So even the things that I'd done to people when I was hurting, when I was broken, outwardly, you'd have never thought I was broken. Outwardly, you'd have never thought I lacked self-esteem. I felt like a victim. I felt low about myself. You'd have never thought that because I always kept my outer appearance up at that time. I always kept it up. I always kept it up. I was 6'2", maybe a 34-inch waist. I was in shape. I worked out. At that time, the biggest I would get to was like a 36, and I have just a little bit of a pudge, but that was about it. And I would get rid of it. And you would have never known. You would have never known that I was at my most miserablest moment in my life at the time. Because outwardly, I had it all together. I knew how to hide it well. You know, I knew how to hide it well. And even though I was broken on the inside, even though I was low vibrating, lacked self esteem, and just was not feeling too good about myself, I still would hurt people. And it's like they say, hurt people hurt people. But guess what? All that hurt that I caused to other people, I got back to. I got back to. And God is so symbolic in what He does, and it's intentional because the person that gave it back to me was a person that physically, I mean, I could easily, but I had to sit there and I had to take it. I had to take every single thing that I dished out, all the cheating, all the lying, all the conniving, all the manipulation, all the mental abuse, all the verbal abuse, all the disrespect, all the coming home at any time I want to come home, all the leaving in there lonely by themselves, wondering where I'm at, wondering what I'm doing, all the making a person so desperate, all the talking crazy to them, all the talking down, all of that, all of that. I had to sit there. And this time, God told me, you have to take it. You can't say a word. Because if you say something, if you do something, if you respond, and if you react, you're going to go through it even more. You're going to go through it. This won't be it. So I had to sit there, 6'2" and some odd pounds. And I had to allow somebody that was about 5'5", 5'6", 125 treat me like I probably should be treating them. And I had to sit there. And I had to take it. Because I made another promise to myself. I wasn't going to bring the abuse into my relationship. I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to do that. So this time, God held me to the fire. I had to. But this time, I was prepared. I didn't act. I didn't do because I knew better. And I had it made up in my mind that I wasn't going to allow someone to take me there, no matter how low they went, no matter how much they fought, no matter how much they said to me. I made it up in my mind that I was not going to allow them to break me down and bring me down to that level. No matter how many times they got in my face, no matter how many times they threatened me, no matter how many times they disrespected me, came in my character, came in my manhood, no matter how many times. That was one of the hardest things that I could do because I had the power in my hand. I knew that this big fist could have shut that all down. One wow, bow. And I could have towered over. I could have done that. I could have been that person that I said I didn't want to be. You will be tested. And God tested me, and I had to pay that back. I had to pay all of that back. I had to. God didn't care that I was hurting, I was sad. God didn't care that I was angry. And don't make the mistake of trying to attach yourself to people thinking that you're going to pay yourself back for the hurt you done to other people. Because I done that too. It didn't work. I didn't work. You know what God told me? Now, you done put yourself through all that stuff. And the stuff that I have planned for you to go through, you still going to go through. So now you just added this on to it. And I was like, well, God, well, I thought I went through it. You can't, you don't get to determine who hurt you, because that other person that you hurt, the people that you hurt, didn't get to determine that it was you going to hurt them. So why would I allow you to determine who hurt you? And why would I allow you to control the hurt that someone does to you? Why would I allow you to make a choice about who's going to hurt you? You're not gonna put yourself through what I need to put you through. You're not gonna you know the limitations of these people. You know it. Now it's gonna be unsuspecting, and it's gonna be by somebody that you thought would never do that to you, because that's what you were to the people that you hurt. But see, when you think so lowly of yourself, you don't even think that anybody would really care about you. You don't even think that anybody would care enough to be hurt by you. So I just kind of wanted to get up on here and tell you all that. And the person that stands before you today is a person that was once hurt, broken, low vibrating. I was one of them people. I was angry, mad, bitter, treated people like crap. I was mean, vile, evil, disrespectful, carried a nasty attitude. And I knew that because of the way that I looked, how I kept my body up, how I was in shape, I knew that I could treat people like crap, because I knew people would just deal with it just because. Just because. But you know what? I also realized that even in my brokenness, even when I was treating people like that, I always wanted people to stand up to me. I always wanted people to tell me no. I always encouraged people to tell me no. I always encourage people to don't let me talk to you like that. Because in these people that I hurted, I saw myself. So in hurting them, it was like in my mind I was strengthening them. I was empowering them, because I was empowering myself. Because I was telling myself, I don't want you to be hurt. I don't want you to let somebody talk to you like that. I don't want you to go through those things. See, when you really truly are a good person at heart, you can't help it. You can't help who you are. You can't help it. You can change it, but even in my heart, even in my core, even in my darkest moments, I was still always trying to heal, trying to do good in the best way I knew how. So, if you ever wonder if a person gonna get back what they dished out to you, make no mistake about it. God ain't sleep. They gonna get it back times 10, tenfold, whatever you want to say, two times two, whatever. They're gonna get it back. It is gonna be worse than what they dished out to you. Karma is real. So when you hear me talk about these stories, when you hear me talk about um, the things that I counsel people on, all those different types of things, it's because I've been through it. And I'm not talking to you just because something that I read. I'm talking to you not only because I read it, I'm talking to you from firsthand experience and on both sides because I've dished it out and I've also received it. So when I tell you about somebody, I'm telling you about myself. Of course, I know. I was once that person. I was once that person. I was once that low vibrating person. I was like they call red pilling. I was red pilling before red pilling was even a thing. Before people even got to talk about that, I was that type of person way before that. Way before. Except for I was really disciplined. Now you look back to discipline in that area because I don't really care about it as much because I understand and I know what it's about. I know what that lifestyle is about. And it's just kind of like I ain't in a rush to get that. I don't want to get back to that lifestyle. So it's like I'm taking my time. I'm okay with it because I know what it's about. I know what it's about. I know how my ego is. I know that the version, that version of me, it's not a good version. And I'd be dang if I allow myself or anybody else to take me back to that version of me. It's not happening. Will I slip and fall? Yes, of course, I'm human, just like anybody else. But am I gonna stay there? Nah. You may catch me slip up and say something real slick, real fly, comment, cut you down real good. I may slip up and say that. I may slip up because you didn't came and you didn't push me too far, and I may slip up and say something. But am I gonna let you keep me there? Nah. And I dang sure ain't gonna drag it until the next day. And that's what I think I kind of want you to understand. Slip ups happen, falls happen. Just because you slipped up, just because you slipped, you backslid a little bit, you did whatever the case may be, that does not mean that that's who you are. That's because you may have fell backwards a little bit. That don't mean that that's who you are. Get up, keep going. That's okay. That's what we get grace for. You don't have to be perfect. You never be perfect. I'll never be perfect. See, that was my thing. I thought I could be perfect. I was dealing with my own internal things. I thought that I could be perfect. I wanted to be so perfect that I wanted to be asexual. I didn't want to have an attraction to anybody. That's what I wanted. And I would be so disciplined. And I'm telling you, that person, that version of me, y'all wouldn't have liked me. Y'all wouldn't have liked me at all. I didn't like myself. So now it's time for me to go, you guys. I want you all to be encouraged, and I want you all to know that the person that you see before you today is a healed person. I've done the work. I've paid back my dues. I've done all those good things. And I want you to know that it's a choice. I choose to be this person. I choose to be mild mannered. I choose to be nonviolent. I choose to be this person daily. And it is one of the best decisions that I could ever make. You know, it's one of the best decisions I could ever make. Not just for myself, my situation, just like your divine support team. Whether choosing Jesus, which is what I told you. Whatever you choose, whatever you do, it's that's what it feels like. Because there's a peace that comes with me not having to be fighting toward people or always having to have a response toward people. When you do things like that, you got to come from that comes from such a dark place. It has to come from such a dark, dark, dark place. of the darkness that had the level of darkness that has to be in you to always be able to have something good to say to somebody when a good comeback, always ready, the most perfect person you can tell, not using your gifts and abilities to harm others, using your abilities to connect and see past the veil to harm people, using your abilities to see and pierce into their lives and what they had done prior to the night before to harm them. Telling him I was not a nice person. I was not a good person at all. But I chose to do good. I chose to change up and I chose to be different. I chose to not allow that hurt to make me be somebody that I am not. Because before all that happened, I was who I am now. I was this good person. I am the person. I was the person that I am now. Before I allowed that darkness to take over. And the darkness was surrounding me, but the light that was inside of me, the darkness couldn't get to. It surrounded it, but it couldn't touch it. It couldn't get to it. There was this peace inside of me that the darkness could not pierce. No matter how much the darkness tried to, it could not. It couldn't overcome it. It couldn't smart it out. It couldn't do anything. That light just shined in me. It was that part that was like God was saying no. No matter how much I tried, no matter how much I tried to help the darkness get that light out, it didn't happen. So, go in peace, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful night, or whenever time you watch this live. I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope this video was enlightening to you and encouraging to you, and I hope you got some good gems out of it. And I hope you got some eyes that you see, you got some ears that you hear, and I hope that this was edifying to you, and I hope that it was able to uplift you and kind of give you something good to look forward to. So I'll see you all in the next one.